Hello, I am the real-life fake wizard. This morning, The Hollywood Reporter put out an article claiming that the Tron franchise is likely to retire from making movies for cinemas due to the financial failure of Jared Leto's Tron Ares. On the surface, that makes total sense. Tron Ares, whether you liked it or not, is a financial failure. This film had a production budget of $180 million and is not going to be able to break even anytime soon, bringing in only $60 million worldwide total in its first weekend. It would take incredible word of mouth to push this movie over the edge and give it box office legs, but that positive word of mouth just isn't there. It isn't there because the movie just isn't that good, opting to surpass the continuation of legacy character stories to insert poorly acted girl bosses, unexplainable memberberries, and Jared Leto. As a longtime Tron fan, this news is not good, but it also is not the first time that this has happened. The reality of this is that Disney took a ridiculous couple $100 million gamble on a franchise that has a very small, very loyal fan base. The failure of Tron Ares is not the fans' fault. It's not even Jared Leto's fault. It's Disney's fault. Let's go back in time. Tron Legacy's release in 2010 was met with a mixture of critic and audience ratings. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Personally, I didn't like the ending, but overall, it is a visually stunning film with an incredible soundtrack. But Tron Legacy did not exist in the 2010 zeitgeist for very long. It released during the 2010 holiday season, and by the beginning of 2011, Disney was already pulling all the merchandise off the shelves in their stores. Oh yeah, Disney stores in malls were still a thing at the time. I know this firsthand because I was there. And I was hyperfixated on the franchise at the time. I loved the first Tron film, and I was very upset that Kevin Flynn seemingly died at the end of Tron Legacy. So for me, I had been hoping for a Tron 3 announcement right around the corner just to confirm that Kevin Flynn was not only still alive, but that the story would continue where Legacy left off. Yet none of that happened. Tron 3 was not fast-tracked because the overall takeaway at the time was that Tron does not make Marvel money. Tron is not a box office rocket ship. Sometime later, we did get a somewhat sequel to Tron Legacy in the form of Tron Uprising, which was an animated prequel series on Disney XD. This show lasted a single season and was unceremoniously canceled due to poor ratings. Okay, so look, I say all of this and set the history of the past in line because the franchise more or less died back in 2012. Having the spin-off show canceled for poor ratings problems was like, yeah, that's it, huh? The box office is not impressive, the reviews were middling, and not enough people watched the Disney Channel show. That brings us to today. Why, in all good conscience, would Disney greenlight a Tron 3 film for cinemas to a price tag of $180 million production budget? Production budget does not include marketing, and this film certainly attempted to flex a marketing budget doing team-ups with Mr. Beast and the NFL for some reason. Look, Tron fans are nerds, like deep nerds. You're not likely to reawaken the fans with Mr. Beast promos. But then again, that was never really the point. NFL and Mr. Beast collabs are not intended to reach super nerdy nerds. They're intended to reach boys, specifically younger boys. This is a Disney film. Their target audience is kids. But I'm not really interested in talking about the marketing because it clearly didn't work. Disney's marketing efforts failed to put butts in seats. Even Jared Leto appearing at a cinema in San Francisco for a premiere had an empty theater, which is embarrassing. What I really want to get to is, what in the hell is Disney thinking? We just discussed that the Tron franchise has historically been a cult following with, after this, diminishing numbers. To put up probably closer to $250 million on a movie that has such low general audience interest is a ridiculous gamble, and corporate executives who signed off on this should be held accountable. Well, it's clear they were trying to kick off something new and attract new viewers, despite having it be a legacy franchise. Also, there's the baggage of how this thing got made and the lore that Jared Leto himself has been negotiating with Disney to get this movie made for years, because Jared Leto is a Tron fan himself. Tron Ares should have been a respectfully budgeted project that got put on Disney+. Putting it in theaters to a price tag of $250 million was a bad business decision from the start. But we have a bigger problem though, and it's respective to the entire Hollywood industry, not just Disney. The price tag to make these films and television shows and video games, for that matter, is too damn high. The budgets to make anything in entertainment is too damn high. The bloat in the entertainment industry has created production conditions that will drown out all of these businesses. Audiences aren't there anymore. Not like they used to be anyway. And that's because the quality of what's being made is mediocre and borderline offensive at best. So Disney and companies like it have discouraged their customers from buying their products, while also creating working conditions where, to make said products, they'll need to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to create said thing. This is unsustainable, and it's starting to break the ground under their feet. Let's look at Superman for a moment. This is Superman, the Man of Steel. All around the world, everyone knows who Superman is, and just this past summer, Superman 2025 did not break even while in cinemas. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a world where Superman is a flop? Now let me explain. This movie brought in $616 million. That's a lot of money, right? Well, yes, it's a lot of money, but the price tag to make the film was so high that even at $616 million, it wasn't enough to break even. The reported production budget was $225 million, with a $125 million reported marketing budget. That's a total of $350 million to make Superman, reportedly. Now, there are a lot of rumors and speculation that the overall budget was probably closer to $400 million, but that does not even matter here. If we look at $350 million alone, that's a shitload of money to make this film. That's too much. And a budget like that is wild, because then you've got to clear $350 million right off the top. But also, do you think that Warner Brothers gets back a 1-to-1 ratio on ticket sales? No, not at all. Superman splits its ticket sales with theaters showing the movie at what Forbes tells us is usually a 50-50 split. Okay, let's do some simple math here. 616 cut in half is $308 million. The production budget was reported to be $350 million. So 350 minus 308 is 42. Which means Superman was $42 million short of breaking even in theaters. And what is Disney supposed to do with Tron? Even if Disney took more than 50% from theaters, that's still what? $45 million towards a near $250 million budget? The math doesn't work anymore. And it's not just Tron. It's not just Superman. It's everything. The cost to make movies is too damn high. And I believe that falls squarely on the fact these production companies don't know what in the actual hell they're doing anymore. They've forgotten how to tell stories that impact audiences. They don't know how to stay on budget. They've signed themselves away to all these unions that hold them hostage and require even the cockroaches on set to get a nickel for every syllable uttered during lunch break. And then we wonder why Hollywood has such a hard-on for upcoming AI technology. It's like, yeah, Hollywood executives dug themselves into a hole that they can't get out from. So they need AI to come along so they can lay off all the real people that cost too much. That's what's going to happen. That's what is happening. And that's not a good thing either. My friends, what we desperately need is market correction. And market correction does not come from studios. It doesn't come from Tom Cruise or Jared Leto. It's not the writers. It's not marketers who said, hey, let's put Gary Vaynerchuk and Bella Poarch in the Tron movie. It's you. It's literally you watching this right now. It's the buyers. It's the buying class. There are sellers and there are buyers. If you are upset about the state of entertainment, stop buying it. Even if it's just you and me. Cancel your subscriptions. Stop going to the movies. Stop buying their games. Stop spending money with companies that you don't agree with. Stop wasting your precious time on this planet watching sloppy content from production companies that don't care whether you like it or not. They aren't listening to your complaints on Twitter because they don't care. You know when they'll care? You know when they'll actually listen to you? When their investors are pulling out and the companies are shutting down. Then they'll say they're sorry and they'll beg for you to come back. But until that point, they don't care about you. You're not important to them. You're a number on a page and they think they control you. Wake up, man. Stop funding mediocrity. Tron is dead. End of line. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Derezed. You know, I think I had other toys in here. This is actually, this big thing is actually it's actually a carrying case for other Tron toys that I was never able to get because they were taken out of shelves so quickly. So I have my Disney Infinities in here. Look, this is Sam Flynn, Disney Infinity. Okay, and I have Cora, Disney Infinity. That's cool. Oh, and this little Hallmark ornament that used to light up. Look at that. Little Tron cycle. Anyway, bye-bye.